Hi guys, my name is Leilani and I am a chef and I'm a clinical nutritionist, and I'm here to teach you how to make the meals you love using ingredients that are good for your gut, your brain and your body. And it's all backed by science. I'll include some links in the show notes for you to read if you love that dry material. So this is actually, it can be a gluten-free and a dairy-free version, but I'll talk you through the different swaps and things as we go along. So let's get started. What we're going to make, if you can't tell already, maybe take a second to see what we've got. Got some Parmesan, got some nuts, got some basil, some olive oil. Can you guess what it is? It is pesto. So this dish is what I like to say is a power-up pesto pasta, and it's for a few different reasons. One, what you're going to get something to blend it in, whatever that looks like for you. And you can start with any ingredient that you want, right? But some of these ingredients have different properties, and I'll talk about those properties and what they do for you. So first one, just because it's easy. Now, this is optional, but I love nutritional yeast. It is a vegan substitute for Parmesan. You could use either or both. Today I'm going to put both in. This is really, really high in B vitamins. And so B vitamins are essential for energy production. And it sort of tastes like Parmesan cheese. So you could put it on popcorn, on pasta, anywhere that you would put Parmesan. Now, I use sort of roughly 1 to 2 tablespoons. You don't actually have to measure it because it's very forgiving. It just sort of depends how much quantity and how cheesy you like it. So then I'll add the Parmesan. Now, this Parmesan is something that I found at the supermarket. It's actually made with, if you look at the label, you wouldn't be able to see it, but it's made with unpasteurized milk, which means that it has all the enzymes in there to help break it down. Now, the great thing about Parmesan is that if you are lactose intolerant, if you get loose bowels when you drink or eat dairy, it can be the lactose in it. You can get a test done from the doctor to see if you're lactose intolerant. But Parmesan cheese or aged cheese, so this has been aged for 30 months, so it's really hard. It has almost no lactose in it. Maybe it could be anywhere between 0.5 to 2% lactose. So my son, who's lactose intolerant, he can have this and he doesn't react to it. So I'll chop up the Parmesan just a little bit to give my blender a bit of a break. And you don't have to put this in if you're a vegan. Again, you know, you can absolutely... I'm going to try this one because this is a really good quality Parmesan. It's so good. It's like creamy, nutty, and salty all at the same time. If you want a Parmesan type of cheese that isn't as expensive as Parmesan Reggiano, try Grana Padano. And it's sort of the next level down. Parmigiano or Parmigiano Reggiano is like the primo cheese. So it is a really good quality cheese. If you have an issue with dairy, and even if you don't, to be honest, spend the money on good quality dairy. It will make a big difference to the way your body works. And I'll go into that in different different episodes when I talk about toxic fats and why the body will store toxic fats in adipose tissue, making it really, really, really difficult to lose that weight. And that's why good quality dairy is essential for, or good quality fat in general, but particularly dairy, is essential if you're concerned about inflammation or weight, which, let's be honest, we all sort of are. So we've got those two as a base. Garlic, of course. Now, I know you probably don't, some of you don't love garlic, but this little baby is incredible for the immune system. It basically has these compounds, one of which is called allicin. This is not a very good, I'm gonna have to get a different garlic clove. Okay, we'll start again. I've got garlic here, and I'm gonna take off some of those bits here. But essentially, garlic is amazing. You don't really have to chop it, but I just like it to be really small in there. Garlic's amazing. It has an enzyme in it called allicin that really helps fight off infection. So if you're someone that suffers from immune issues, you get sick a lot, add garlic, raw garlic into your diet. And just brush your teeth. You know, if you're concerned about that, then make sure you brush your teeth after. But it's fantastic. It is so good for your health. Now I'm just going to put in a herb. You could basically use any herb, any light leafy herb. I love basil, so I'll throw that in. You can add the stems as well. Now this is my superfood addition to this, and it's sprouts. Now sprouts, the reason they're so incredible is basically they come from a seed, and a seed has all the nutrients to make a plant, right? And in order to access those nutrients, you start germinating or sprouting it. And so the sprouts have the minerals, the antioxidant compounds, the enzymes, all the very, very beneficial components in there, and they're bioavailable because they're essentially like they've released in the process of growing this little tree. So they are basically as close to a superfood as you can get. So I add sprouts as often as I can. They kind of just blend into all the flavors. You don't even notice they're in there. Broccoli sprouts are great. This is snow peas. Any sprouts are great. Mix it up. I'm going to add a couple of different nuts. Now, obviously, you can use pine nuts. You can use whatever you've got at home. But for me, these are, I've got activated Brazil nuts here. I'm going to add a couple of them. Now, I know people sort of wonder, is activated worth the extra money? And I truly think so. You can do it yourself by soaking it in water, and I'll have an episode on that because it's so simple. But essentially, what it does is if you don't activate them, the nutrients are sort of bound inside. So the zinc, the calcium, the magnesium, they're very, very difficult to absorb. And not just that, it is harder on the digestive tract. So once you germinate them, which is essentially what a sprout is, it's the process of getting to the sprout, it unlocks all of those nutrients, makes them available, and it also makes the proteins and the healthy fats in there more available to the body, so it's easier to absorb. So I'm just going to put a couple of Brazil nuts in there because, well, actually more than a couple, 4, because they have selenium, and selenium's very hard to get in the diet. And then I'm just going to add some macadamias. These are roasted, so if you can't get activated or you just don't feel like doing it, roasted's sort of the next best thing. And macadamias are a really nice nut. Now, the next thing is obviously olive oil. This is something that I put in everything. It's praised by the Mediterranean diet. It's a golden food. I wouldn't necessarily cook too high with it because of the smoke point, but it has oleic acid in it, and it's a really strong anti-inflammatory. And so you can just pretty much go hard on the olive oil. Okay, we're back. I had a little mishap with my microphone. Anyway, so then olive oil's in. You can see I put quite a bit in there. It's up to you how much you want, but more the merrier. I'm going to put a bit of salt in because I like extra salt, and this is going to be a sauce essentially. Now, lemon is not traditional, but I love lemon for a couple of reasons. It it adds a zing to the recipe, and the vitamin C helps iron absorption. So I'll put in probably half of this. Okay, so I've blended this up, and let's see. This is my favorite part, getting to taste it. There's a lot of pesto there. So this will last easily a couple of weeks for me. Oh, it's perfect. It's all the flavors come through. This is incredible. And it only takes, besides the fact that I rambled on, it only takes 5 minutes to make because you can throw everything in and whiz it up. Okay, moving on to the next part. I want to talk about the pasta. So we've obviously got a really nutrient dense pesto that we've made at home. The next part of this, which is the pasta part, is probably equally, if not more important. So the pasta that I've cooked here, this is a pulse pasta. And if I look at the ingredients, which I recommend that you all do, it has, there's a lot of writing on here. Where is it? I know this one so well. It has ingredients, red lentil flour. That's it. I don't know how they make it, to be honest, but it's incredible. There's nothing else with it. And I'm in Australia. You can buy this brand, but of course any brand in any country is fine. And now with all the alternative movement, there is heaps of choice. This is my favorite one, and I've run out, which is why I've gone with this one. But this is an edamame spaghetti. It's got a gorgeous chew to it. This one is better to have hot, right? So the red lentil one or any of the legume based except for the edamame, which is a baby soybean. This one you can have cold, it's okay, but this one is much better hot. So you cook it and then immediately you want to mix the sauce with it. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to pour some of that pesto on top. And you can keep some leaves, some green leaves. I don't have any left, but ideally that's what you could have done. And there you go. Power up pesto pasta.